question 4. Evaluate the following, and then we have the integral of x times exponential to power 2x dx. We have the upper boundary as ln2 and the lower boundary as 0. So let's see solution to that. Integral of this 2x. Yeah, so this is a product of two items, so we're going to use integration by parts. Okay, so u is what is this, so the u dx, that's 1, and then the v dx, that's exponential to power 2x. So d will be equal to integral of this one, and that will be equal to what? Exponential to power 2x all over 2. Okay, when you are integrating exponential, the question is the same as the answer, but you check the power. Okay, you divide your answer by derivative of the power, so by 2. So then we use our formula. Let's call this question, let's call it equal to r. Okay, so this equal to uv minus integral over v du dx times dx. My u is this, is x. My v is exponential to power 2x all over 2. Okay, then the upper boundary is ln 2, the lower boundary is 0, then minus integral of v is what? Exponential to power 2x all over 2. Ln the upper boundary ln 2, the lower boundary ln 0. The u dx is 1, so that's dx. So we have that, so we can begin to plug in this one. The upper boundary ln 2 times exponential 2 times ln 2 all over 2 minus the lower boundary, so this will be 0. Okay, then minus integral of this one. This 2 can be outside the integration all over 2. The integral of exponential will give us this all over 2. Okay, then put your upper boundary and lower boundary for this last one. Okay, so we now have 1 over 2 ln 2 exponential to power, these 2 can come here, and that will be 4. Okay, and actually this one will become half ln 2, and this one exponential to power ln 4 will be equal to what? Will be equal to 4. Okay, so don't forget exponential power ln f of x will give us f of x. Okay, so this will come times what? Times 4. That will be equal to what? 1 over 2 times 4, that's 2 ln 2. So we've gotten the value for this, which is what? Which is 2 ln 2. Then we can do this one, and that will be equal to, so we now have 2 ln 2 minus 1 over 2 times this, that's 1 over 4. 1 over 4 exponential 2 times ln 2. Begin to plug in your upper boundary, then minus 1 over 4 to power 0. 2 times 0, that's 0. So we have that. And this question is we call it, when you have your upper and lower boundary, we call it a definite integral. Okay, so we now have 2 ln 2 minus 1 over 4. Yeah, this one also will give you, this 2 will come here, that's ln 2 squared, and that's 4. So this will give us what? Times 4. If you open that, then plus this one will be what? Minus times minus, that's plus. Exponential to power 0, that's 1. So that's what? 1 over 4. So we have 2 ln 2. 1 over 4 times 4, that's 1. So minus 1 plus 1 over 4. So for question 1, the answer is what? 2 ln 2 minus 3 over 4. Minus 1 plus 1 over 4 will give us minus 3. Will give us minus 3 over 4. Okay, and that's that on the question 1. Okay, then we go to question 2. Integral of the upper over 2 and then the lower 0, x times sine x dx. The differentiable function is u, which is u is equal to this, and then the u dx, that's 1. Then the v dx is sine x. So v will become, if you integrate this, that will minus cos x. So let's call this question, let's call it I. So I is equal to uv. My u is what? My u is this, My v is this, okay? That's a uv, then minus integral of v, which is a minus cos x. Don't forget to put your upper and lower boundary here, pi over 2, 0. Pi over 2, 0. Then the u dx is what? Is 1, and then dx. Okay? So we can begin to substitute. And this one, which will be what? Which will be minus pi, which will be minus pi over 2, cos pi over 2. Okay? Then minus the lower boundary, when you substitute that, that's 0 times this. So that's 0 for the lower boundary. Okay? Then for this one, minus. Okay? Actually, minus, that's a plus. And then the integral of this is sine x, and then indicate the upper and the lower boundary for that. So cos pi over 2, that's 0. So this is equal to 0. So this one times this one, that's 0. Okay, then we have plus. This will give us what? The upper boundary, sine pi over 2, that's 1. Then minus sine 0, that's 0. So the answer for this one is 1. For the c part, integral of s cos x dx, the upper boundary is pi over 2. For this one, the differentiable function is u equal to what? Is this. So the u dx, that's 1. Then the v dx, that's cos x. So v will be equal to what? Sin x. If we integrate this, okay? So v is what? Sin x. So we now have uv. So that's x sin x, and they indicate the upper boundary. Then minus integral of v, which is sin x, and then the u, the x, that's times 1, and the x, upper boundary, and the lower boundary. Okay? So we're going to have now pi over 2. You're going to substitute your upper boundary. Pi over 2 times sine pi over 2, then minus 0, the lower boundary, 0 times sine this. Okay, then we'll come here, then minus integral of this one is what? Is minus cos x. Okay, so the upper boundary, pi over 2, and then 0. So sine pi over 2 is 1, so we have pi over 2 in this place. Okay, then this is cancelled, this is 0, then open the brackets. We substitute this one, cos pi over 2, that's a 0, then minus, okay, the minus that is here, no, minus, okay, minus cos 0, and that's what? That's minus 1. Okay, cos 0 is 1. Okay, so if you do that, this will give you pi over 2. I'm going to have pi over 2. Then minus times minus, that's a plus. So this will be pi over 2, then this one times this one, this one times this one, that's plus, and this one, that's minus 1. That finished that. The d part, we have the integral of ln x over x to the power 2. So this is the d part. The differentiable function will be ln x, that's the u dx. Shape this respect to x, that's 1 over this. Then the v dx, that's 1 over x to the power 2, which is x exponent minus 2. So v will be equal to integral of x to the power minus 2 dx. So v is equal to what? X to the power minus 2 plus 1 all over minus 1. Minus 2 plus 1, that's minus 1. And that will give us v equal to minus 1 over x. So we now have I equal to uv, and u is this, okay, and that will be minus 1 over x ln x minus integral of v, that's minus 1 over x, then times the u dx, that's 1 over x dx. Ln x, indicate your upper boundary, that's 2, and then for the lower boundary 1, then minus times minus, that's a plus, this one, minus times minus, that's plus. Then we have the integral of x to the power minus 2 dx, 1 over x times 1 over x. Okay, indicate your upper and lower boundary. So if you substitute the upper now, we have minus 1 over 2, and then 2, and then substitute the lower, minus the lower boundary will be what? This 1 over 1, that's minus 1, and then what? And then 1. And don't forget the 1, and then then 1 is 0. Then plus this one, if you integrate exponent x to the power minus 2, it will give us minus 1 over x, then upper and lower boundary. We are going to have now minus 1 over 2 ln 2, then plus substitute this, that's minus 1 over 2 minus lower boundary, that will be minus 1 over 1. So that's minus 1. So we now have half minus 1 over 2 ln 2, then minus half, and then plus what? Plus 1. And that will give us what? That will give us minus 1 over 2 ln 2, and then plus what? Minus half plus 1. So that's what? Plus half. Okay? So that's that on that question. So I want to say at this point, if you are new on this channel and you are yet to subscribe, okay? You're new and you're yet to subscribe, there's a link on the video, click on it and subscribe. Click on the notification bell, like button, and send your comments. Forward your comments. Click on like button and forward your comments. And finally, share the links of this video on all your social media platforms. Thank you for doing that.